Now, the education sector is staring at a looming crisis if over 16,000 classrooms pledged by the government is not completed by January 2025 to allow for grade 9 transition. The Kenyan Primary School Heads Association says the government need to work around the clock and deliver the classrooms in a record less than 60 days to avoid burdening the already congested primary public schools.
With just less than 2 months before the 2025 academic year begins, uncertainty looms over the rollout of the last class of junior secondary school education grade 9.
From the National Treasurer, a word of thanks, tafadhali.
The Kenya Primary School Heads Association says the competency-based curriculum is staring at a possible crisis in transiting grade 9 if over 16,000 classrooms are not completed by January.
Kule mashinani hatujakuwa na darasa ambayo imeanzishwa kuchengwa. Kwa hivyo unashindwa hii darasa itachengwa kwa muda wa haya miezi mingapi ili iweze kuandaliwa tunapojiunga na grade ya 9 mwaka ujao.
In some areas the grade 8s are already congested. They have big numbers in one room. So we wouldn't like to have the same big numbers in grade 9.
The head teachers who are the drivers of the CBC transition under the junior secondary school say the government need to work around the clock and deliver the infrastructure ahead of the 2025 education calendar. The government on their part says plans are underway to bridge the gap without giving timelines, with the head of public service Felix Koskei telling head teachers that a classroom should not exceed 1 million shillings and they must account for each penny.
Classrooms does not cost too much. It may be $1 million, it may be slightly higher, but as we see the average cost of a classroom as we speak still is $1 million.
The budget which is set aside for construction of classrooms should be reviewed upward, because we believe and because we have been on the ground. The 1 million which is being set aside for a classroom is very strenuous to achieve.
We are making critical progress in ensuring that the more than 16,000 classrooms that we require for our children to transition to grade 9 are being done and done with a lot of efficiency. We have been visiting a number of our schools. I visited quite a number of schools yesterday, both here in Mombasa and Kilifi. And one of the schools which we are building 6 classrooms, the classrooms are ready for usage in January.
The head teachers are also demanding for salary increment, saying increased responsibility under the JSS should be matched with better remuneration.
Walimu wapewe mafunzo hasa ya kidijitali, pia tupewe pesa zinazoweza hata kusimamia mafunzo haya.
The textbooks are not in schools. Whatever we have is peanuts. And the data collected is not what we are getting back in schools.
The education sector is staring at a possible crisis come January 2025 if the government doesn't hasten plans to address a number of concerns raised by primary school head teachers. Francis Mtulaki, Citizen TV, Mombasa.